Eva and Pierre decided to go on their honeymoon in a mysterious town after leaving France, guided by a lost map and the advice of an old friend. They step into the quiet streets of the small town. In the initial days, the town offered a romantic atmosphere filled with a peaceful vibe, historic buildings, and friendly people. The townspeople continued to claim that their ages range from 200 to 500. This humorous approach caught the attention of the couple, especially Eva and Pierre, but it was far from being a disturbing factor for them. However, with the sunset, the town atmosphere began to change. The night was filled with terrifying events that led Eva and Pierre to experience moments like a nightmare. Shadows haunting their dreams, strange sounds, and even ghostly figures seen inside their homes. However, with the sunset, the town atmosphere began to change. The night was filled with terrifying events that led Eva and Pierre to experience moments like a nightmare. Shadows haunting their dreams, strange sounds, and even ghostly figures seen inside their homes. Initially, when they told these events to the townspeople, everyone claimed that such a thing had not happened, just shaking their heads. The townsfolk were cheerful and friendly during the day, but in the evenings they refused to talk about the strange situation they were experiencing. Over time, Eva and Pierre began to uncover the true nature of the town. One night, as they wandered through an old cemetery, they saw their own names on the gravestones of the deceased. It turned out that the town they had seen and spoken to people in was actually a cemetery where those individuals had died years ago. When they tried to escape from the town and moved along the road leading out, they found themselves at the other entrance of the town. They had encountered an invisible barrier that prevented their escape. They couldn't seem to find a way out of the town. Finally, when the town made them feel trapped in a room, closing all exits, Eva and Pierre gave up a date. From that moment on, they were considered ghosts by the townspeople. Their bodies would never be found again, and the townsfolk would continue to perpetuate these mysterious and paranormal events. The town that Eva and Pierre experienced left behind only mysterious memories. Dr. Olivia Reynolds had gained respect as a renowned geologist in the scientific world. She had recently discovered an intriguing cave system she had been working on and decided to go on an exploration trip with her assistant, Mars, to share the details of this discovery. The fresh breeze of spring was spreading toward the entrance of the cave system that passed through the forest. As Olivia and Mars stood at the entrance, they pondered the enchanting mystery within the captivating darkness. Lighting their flashlights, they stepped into the depths of this immense place they had discovered. Olivia, her voice trembling with excitement, said, "This cave system could be a treasure for the scientific world. However, there is also a risk of getting lost inside. We must be careful." Mars nodded, and they began to move towards the depths. However, there was something they didn't know. The cave was pulling them not only into the unknown, but also into the depths of fear. The dark and damp cave seemed to engulf geologist Olivier and his assistant Marcel. With limited resources and a weak source of light, they tried to find an exit. However, the hours spent inside made the situation worse. As shadows moved between the walls, they heard strange sounds echoing in the cave. When their supplies ran out and they became thirsty, in desperation, they had to resort to nourishing themselves with their own feces. The terrifying atmosphere inside the cave was taking its toll on both of them. Figures they saw in the dark and mysterious sounds they heard were pushing Olivier and Marcel, already worn out to the brink of madness. Over time, Marcel began to unleash the years of accumulated resentment and anger. The geologist's failures and constant criticism surfaced during the challenging days in the cave. As tensions rose, conflicts became inevitable. However, as the fights combined with the terrifying sounds they heard inside and the tremors they felt within the cave, the duo, unable to endure further, turned against each other. Screams and the sounds of conflict echoed within the cave. As the days passed, a rescue team began search efforts in the cave. However, the scene they found was horrifying. Geologist Olivier was found dead with a head injury from a stone, and half of his body was bitten and torn by a human. There was no trace of Marcel. The assistant, lost inside the cave, was never found again. As the rescue team tried to understand the horrifying events, the fate of Marcel, lost inside the cave, would remain a mystery. No one would ever know for sure what really happened inside.